he wins the Masters. It must be something about Georgia.
It must be, because Tiger, he ended a very long drought here at Augusta National, winning his 5th green jacket. The last time he did that was all the way back in 2005. I was graduating high school at that time.
Well, I was working here at News 19, but if you're scoring at home, that is 14 years in between Masters wins.
Talking to Brooks outside not too long ago, he said Tiger's back. Do you feel like you're back physically, mentally, and everything that it takes to win at this level?
Yeah, I do, because I just did it. You know, I was able to play some of my best golf over the last 3 days.
And, of course, what's interesting about Tiger's win is that he now has the record for the longest gap between Masters wins. It was 11 held by Jack Nicklaus. Now it's 14 held by Tiger.
Yeah, and Tiger, another feat. You talk about, age. 43 years old is Tiger, the second oldest man to win the Masters. And, you talk about that leaderboard that was just stacked up going into the final round, and really on the back nine, Francisco Molinari, Brooks Koepka, the young generation, the new generation, the generation that Tiger has influenced. He showed, hey, I still got something left in the tank, and he showed that he can still win the big events, and he probably proved it more so to himself than anybody else.
USC and Georgia is the big game, and you're going to hear a voice today you're probably very familiar with. One of the most popular voices in college football, Brad Nessler. And Brad, going into year 2 with the SEC on CBS, and got a huge matchup here in week 2, USC and Georgia. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
It doesn't get any bigger in week 2, Joe.
Well, I'm here on the National Portrait Gallery steps. All the fans are out here. The new tradition has started. The fans get on the steps celebrating that win over the Vegas Knights tonight. And the fans, you hear them, they are just ecstatic. It is electric out here on the steps. I mean, just look at these fans right now. Let's go, Cats! Hey, what do you think about tonight's game, man? You said 20 years in the making, and you actually have a jersey on from 20 years ago as well.
Right here. The Caps are playing great right now. We're going to win in 5. That's my prediction. The Caps are going. The Caps are going to the Cup. My man, the Caps are going.
You heard it here first. The Caps in 5. Those are the fans' predictions after they get that winning night going up 2-1 in the series. And again, these fans just surrounding the Portrait Gallery steps. And what a night it is for not only the Capitals, but for DC Sports. Again, the Caps one step closer to clinching the Stanley Cup. And you can hear the fans out here now, just all celebrations. So hopefully it can continue going into Monday night for Game 4. I'll send it back to you, Deborah.
Thank you so much.
On the ground and released it to the entire world. Joe, why didn't you wait till the show? Come on.
Hey, I couldn't help myself. Once I found out USC was going to be close by, I said, hey, people have to know. But no, it wasn't me. It was somebody at ESPN. But, hey, we thank that person because we know. And Don Staley, the head coach of the women's basketball team in South Carolina, you know where you're going to be playing, starting out in Charlotte, taking on Belmont. And for you, what were your thoughts first about the leak?
Well, at first you don't think it's the real deal. And then
It's worth it.
So in the last 2 seasons, Gamecocks have won Super Bowls. Alshon Jeffrey with the Eagles last year, and this year, Stephon Gilmore joins Alshon in that fraternity. So it sounds like, and it looks like, if you want to win a Super Bowl title and you're an NFL team, you need to have a Gamecock on your roster. Reporting inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium at Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta, Joe Cook, News 19, WLTX.
Oh, I've always liked Joe Cook, but I like him even more when he says things like that.
All right, game time, just a short time away. I'm here with Coach Muschamp. And, Coach, talk to me about the preparation for your team this week. How do you feel this week of practices went?
Well, I thought practice went really well. We've got a very mature team. We've got a lot of guys that have played in these type of games, and we're looking forward to the kickoff at 3:30.
How healthy is your team going into this game? I know DJ Wanham had that ankle issue. I guess how healthy is he and the rest of your team going into this big matchup?
We'll see on DJ today, but other than that, we ought to be healthy, ought to be ready to go.
And lastly, Coach, what's going to be critical for your team to be successful today?
Well, we got to win on both lines of scrimmage. Georgia's a big physical football team. We got to be able to stop the run and have ability to stay balanced offensively and run the ball and protect the quarterback.
What are you most excited about this game?
I just think it's going to be a great environment here at Williams-Brice Stadium.
All right, thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
All right, so Coach is excited. I know Gamecock Nation is, and I'll send it over back to you.
Here at the Koger Center, where the Gamecock Gala is tonight, with the USC Athletics program, the department. They're celebrating all of their standout student athletes, and rightly so. These kids do a lot on and off the field, and they're going to be celebrated for their accomplishments. But there's one person here tonight that's going to be emceeing the event, and that is Alyssa Lang, former WLTX News 19 sports reporter, and the person that kind of paved the way for me. And you're here tonight emceeing the event. What's it like being back on campus and being part of this event?
It's awesome. I mean, just being back in Columbia and being back in that Gamecock family is.
Last year, they're not rookies to this stage.
They really aren't. They have been here before and against the same team. A rematch from national title game from a year ago, and a guy who was key in that game, probably the biggest takeaway from that game, was Deshaun Watson. Put up great numbers in that game. He believes that this team this year is more prepared than last year because, hey, they've been here before.
We just have experience. And
in a rematch of last year's college football championship, Alabama and Clemson met again, and it was a classic in Tampa in Raymond James Stadium. The Tigers coming back from a 14-point deficit against Alabama, but guess what? Deshaun Watson hits Hunter Renfrow with 1 second remaining, and that is the difference in the game. The Clemson Tigers on top of the college football world.